Where is the best place to live in Orlando? That's a question that I get all the time as an Orlando realtor. If you've done just a little bit of research about Orlando, you'll know that Orlando is huge. Orlando has so many different options, and each part is different in its own way. It's really hard to say what the best place in Orlando is. There are lots of lists that come out about the best place to live in Orlando, and I wanted to share with you one that just came out recently from the Orlando Realtor Association. So we'll go through the list, and I'll also give my comments on each area so you can get a better idea of what it's like to live in these different parts of Orlando. The first place is downtown Orlando. Downtown Orlando is a great place to live because it's centrally located and there are many things to do. Lots of events take place in downtown. There's been a lot of growth that has happened within the past 10 or 15 years in downtown, and it's still continuing to grow. When looking at housing in downtown, one thing to realize is a lot of the homes will be older and might have small square footage. Some have had updates and some haven't had any, or somewhere in between. Winter Park is another great area that comes up a lot. That's probably one of the most popular suggestions when you ask someone, hey, where's a great place to live in Orlando? Winter Park is definitely toward the top of the list. It's the closest city to downtown Orlando. It's about a 12-minute drive. Winter Park is interesting because it was established around the same time as Orlando, and because of that, Winter Park has its own identity and rich history. Winter Park has museums and many arts and cultural events throughout the year. In Winter Park, you'll find a variety of homes. Downtown Winter Park is very popular, but because of that, it's also very expensive. You'll find estate-style homes and multi-million-dollar condos and townhomes. However, there is some housing that isn't in the luxury price range in the downtown Winter Park area. Like downtown Orlando, you'll find a variety of homes. Lots of the homes in Winter Park are from the 50s to 70s. So again, you're going to find some homes that have been updated a lot and some that haven't. You will find some new construction in Winter Park. It's usually a home that was torn down and then a new home built in its place. And usually it's a much bigger home than it was previously. Maitland is right next to Winter Park. Maitland doesn't have a traditional downtown center like Winter Park does. However, they have recently made some additions to the city center to give it more of a downtown feel. There's a big office park in Maitland, so Maitland could be a convenient place for you to live if you work in Maitland. Celebration is a community that was developed by the Walt Disney Company. If you're a Disney fan, you'll love it because it's very close to Disney. It's a picturesque and beautiful community with a 1950s suburb feel with an active and walkable town center. I have heard people say that they don't like Celebration because it kind of gives off Truman Show vibes. I do think it's a really nice place to live, but it can be expensive. Winter Garden has become a very popular place to live within about the last 10 years. It has a cute downtown with many things to do, and one of the best farmers markets in the Orlando area. Winter Garden is essentially broken up into two areas. The old side of Winter Garden toward the north, and the south side of Winter Garden, which has experienced a lot of growth in recent years. So something to keep in mind is most of the homes around that adorable downtown Winter Garden area aren't new construction homes. So if you're moving to Winter Garden because you want to live in a new or newer home, just know that you probably won't be near the downtown Winter Garden area. However, there's the Winter Garden Village, which is a big shopping center that's closer to the south side of Winter Garden. What part of Orlando interests you? Where would you move in Orlando? Let me know in the comments. If you're enjoying the video so far, please like and comment on the video. It really helps me out, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you are subscribed, I really appreciate the support. Windermere is right near Disney. Windermere is a beautiful place to live if you want to live near or on a lake. Windermere has a small town center with weekly community events. Windermere has the charm of a quaint town, but super close to all the tourist attractions in Orlando. Baldwin Park is right near downtown Orlando and Winter Park. It's unique because it used to be the Naval Training Center. Then in the early 2000s, it was converted into this master planned community. Baldwin Park is one of the most walkable areas in Orlando. When I have clients that are looking for a walkable area, but they also want to live in a house that's a little newer, but not necessarily $1 million and over, Baldwin Park is a great choice. Most of the lots in Baldwin Park are on the smaller side and may not have much of a backyard. Although not all the homes are in the $1 million price range, the homes are still above the median home price in Orlando. Lake Mary is in Seminole County, and it's about 18 miles north of downtown Orlando. There are a lot of businesses and corporate offices that are located in Lake Mary. So if you want to live near where you work, Lake Mary could be a great choice. Lake Mary has many shopping centers and a small downtown area that's near a park where they have community events. Lake Nona is another master planned community. It's close to the airport. Lake Nona is known as Medical City. It's a growing community with much more potential for growth. It's becoming one of the most popular places to live in the Orlando area. But of course, that comes with an expense. Also, like most communities that are new construction, the homes are relatively close together. So that's something to be mindful of if you're looking to move to Lake Nona or any of the other new construction areas in Orlando. Sanford is a mix of old and new. Sanford is about 30 minutes north of downtown Orlando. It was established around the same time that Orlando was, so it also has its own rich history. Sanford has a historical downtown that's been revitalized within the past 20 years. There are many places to eat, and Sanford probably has the most breweries in the Central Florida area. In downtown Sanford, you'll find homes from the late 1800s and early 1900s. There are some new construction communities in Sanford. Sanford's median home price is a bit lower compared to most of the other areas that I've talked about in this video. So if you're looking for a great place to live, but also staying within a budget, Sanford could be a great choice. I have a link in the description with my preferred properties for sale in Orlando. So check that out if you'd like to see what's currently on the market. Apopka made this list, which I was a little surprised about because Apopka doesn't seem to make a lot of these best places to live in Orlando lists. However, I think it's a great choice. It's very similar to Sanford, where it has its own rich history. There are older homes and new construction, and the home prices are lower than other areas that are on this list. Apopka doesn't have a traditional downtown or town center. They've been talking for a while now that they're going to develop something, and I believe there are some plans in the works. OVIEDO is in Seminole County. It's right near the University of Central Florida. It's a mix between suburban and rural. OVIEDO essentially has two downtown areas. They have their historical downtown, and not too far from that is their new downtown area that's called OVIEDO on the Park. There are still new developments that are coming up in OVIEDO. In the downtown area of OVIEDO, you'll find homes from the early 1900s, but as you move away from downtown, a bulk of the homes are going to be from the 70s to 90s, and some are still being built today. Check out this video about places to live in Orlando that not everyone talks about, or this playlist where I talk about all of these areas in depth. Reach out if you have any questions. My contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching.